Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths, and all of the righteous families of the planet. It's your big brother Fahiym back again with another short bill. Just wanted to build on man, who checked out the minister's July 4th message. Man, it was beautiful, seeing the minister out there in such zeal, such, exuberance, for his age, man. That's a beautiful thing. The righteous God, is still out there. The righteous Muslim God, is still out standing on his post as one of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's, star-studded students. That's a beautiful thing. Me and one of my God brothers, me and one of the Muslim God brothers was building, man, that I knew for years. And he was just like, man, God, stuff that we used to build on when we was little jits. It's like, just hearing the minister go into it, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, it brought back memories, man, when we were just newborns, first getting the information, and hearing things like, New World Order or the Illuminati or, government shutdowns, the U.S. government putting out vaccines and stuff, or putting out a virus or germ, using biological and germ warfare, and then putting out vaccines after that so they can, ultimately depopulate the planet, and you know what I'm saying, and government psyops and stuff happening throughout the country. And we was really, just reminiscing on some stuff, man. And it's like, the God was like, you hear every Tom, Dick, and Harry now. All these 85% is really talking about it now, which really shows you the times that we in. When you start hearing 85% is, with that type of conversation, they ain't talking about basketball. They ain't talking about, sports. They ain't talking about the strip club. They talking about serious topics. That is really, just in having this knowledge, it shows me that today we are living now in the fruition of what we spoke of back then. Everything is coming into fruition of what we spoke of back then. We see it being manifest today, But real quickly, I just wanted to build on, what is a government psyop? What is a psyop? We live in a world today where nothing seems to be what it is. Basically, the government will put out, fake news, fake, information, propaganda, and it's used to, persuade the people's minds into thinking into one direction where they want them to go. We see that being used today a lot, through the television. As little jits, as newborns, we was taught, the guards used to break that down. The television, it tells the eye vision, lies to the vision, and and again, we see how a lot of that rhetoric back then is now standing to be true today, and how it's being manifested before our very eyes today. A psyop is a psychological operation that most governments or militaries would use, in particular the U.S., United States military. The most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said once that our people can't fathom the mind of the devil. We can't fathom the depths of evil and wickedness that these divine evils would do, in the name of evil, in the name of their wicked Lord. Our people can't fathom what they would do. And really, we sit down, and if you've read Fall of America, which is one of the Messenger's books back then, along with other such books as Behold the Pale Horse and Illuminati 666 and New World Order books and stuff like that, you understand kind of today where the messenger's coming from. When we heard that back then, that message that the messenger gave us, our people can't fathom it, because the white man is such a big killer. He's a real killer. And his tool of white supremacy, which is his tool and his religion, because this is what he relies on. He lives by this code. He uses white supremacy as a tool. This is his ultimate weapon that he uses because he can place it within Christianity. He can place it in Islam. He can place it in any organization. And he can place actors in that organization who look like me and you, but yet and still they work at the behest of the Caucasian white man. This is the level of evil and wickedness that our people can't fathom. We never look internally at problems within an organization. We always tend to look outside first, when the white man during the counterintelligence program, J. Edgar Hoover, said that our goal and job is to get within an organization and control from within and move up the ranks so that we can undergird leadership and eventually take over and change the whole ideology of the movement. Because changing the ideology of the movement, now we're dealing with the psyche. It's a psychological operation that's being done or being used. So one of Sun Tzu's art of wars that he said was, Sun Tzu said, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without even fighting. It's to subdue the enemy without even fighting. Wow, that's powerful. Every piece of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Caucasian white man gets, he uses it for wickedness and evil. This is his nature. So ever since 1930, with the advent of the Nation of Islam and the coming of Master Fard Muhammad, Allah God in person, ever since that, the white man has used our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to gain mastery of his self and this planet. And right now, he's doing a pretty hell of a job with deceiving the people and using the tool of M.G.C, which is a military information support operation, is another word for Psyop. So when we see these police shootings, we think they're actual police officers, but they could be actors, puppets on a string. We see heads of state and government leaders, dictators and stuff, whether they be U.S. presidents or whoever. And we think that they're really calling the shots, but they didn't write the script to that play. They're just actors playing out a part. But it's all to deceive the general population, so that the general population can, of course, be persuaded. One of the three main goals of a psyopic mission is change, persuade, and to influence. This is the three main goals that they seek out when they go into a certain area with information. Whether it be truthful information or wrongful information, they carry information into a specific area and divulge that information to specific individuals to cause change, to cause persuasion, similar to what Master Fard Muhammad did in 1930. Allah God was the sender who borned Master Fard Muhammad into existence from out of the black womb of this universe. And his father had a mindset, had a determined idea. He raised up a son to look a particular way with a determined idea. But his job was like a psychological operation as well. You see how the white man steals off of the original people, off of the original man who was Allah? You see how he does that? What Master Fard Muhammad did was come over here in a disguise. As the Bible says, prepare me a body that I may go down unto them. And he came telling us that the black man is God. He told us that he was God too. A lot of our people didn't hear that. But members of the Nation of Islam back in the early days, some of those pioneers, they heard him say that. And he said that to not only his followers, he said it to other individuals as well, in the police department, law enforcement. He told them, yeah, I'm God. I'm God of the universe. I'm a law God. I'm the supreme being. Even though he was disguised and looked as he was half original, he told us that they've not yet seen me in my royal robes. What does that mean to you? He was a black man. So at the end of the day, the Caucasian white man uses everything to the detriment of evil. You know, in 1930, he discovered Platoon or Pluton, or what they say Pluto, which in our solar facts is still a planet. The white man has changed it now and he's made it something else. But Master Fard Muhammad said that we were a sign of that planet because we were so far from the light of truth, the light of the Son of Man, that it would take longer for light to strike us and make us rotate at 1,037 and a third miles per hour, just like all of the other planets in our solar system. So his message was a universal message. And he pointed out to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad 2 stars, a blue and a red star. And he said that they show up every 50,000 years because it marks the beginning of a new era or a new cycle, a new epoch in time. This is the black man's rule, the supreme being black God's rule. So, not to take too much time, people, with this bill, but, you know, definitely, you know, we got to be aware of what's going on. You know, the white man, the elite white men on this planet plan to depopulate this planet, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan mentioned. And their goal is to eliminate 2 to 3 billion people. You know, and if they can do this within a 25-year period, this is the time that we're living in now. So wearing a mask is wise. Putting your face mask on, especially if you're in an environment with a lot of people, in a supermarket or whatever, it's not an ignorant thing, it's a wise thing. Sometimes people get a little too carried away with the mask, I'll admit, because masks are really technically for people who are already infected with the virus. But as we know with this coronavirus thing, they say it's, you know, people can be asymptomatic. You don't know if they're even, they don't have any symptoms showing, but yet and still they can still pass on this germ, deadly germ. So at the end of the day, you know, eat right, build your immune system. This is what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. If you eat 1 meal a day, 1 meal every other day, you won't even really have to wear a mask technically. But just to be on the safe side, when you go in large populations or areas of people, you can put your mask on. That's wise to do that. But at the end of the day, the numbers that they purport are not actual numbers. Because if you get sick with any fever or respiratory illness or whatever, and you got to go to the hospital, they're going to label it as what? You got the coronavirus. So their goal is to scare people with these numbers so that they can ultimately, when they put this vaccine out, just watch it. They're going to try to make sure the whole world takes it. You know, and Bill Gates ain't playing. Him and the rest of the elite divine evils ain't playing. With a smiley face, they're going to make you take it. But their family hasn't taken anything, nor do their family probably even wear masks. I don't know, you know. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, family, just a short bill for the morning. I'll leave you as I came in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths, and all the righteous families of the planet.